wrong for revealing my salary and refusing to pay more rent? I, 25 male, have been sharing my apartment with my friend Alex for 4 years. About 2 months ago, Alex asked if I was willing to let a friend of his named Sophie move in with us. I agreed because I planned to make a down payment on a house and move out within 2 years. By having Sophie around, she could take my place and make it easy so that Alex does not have to worry about any increases in expenses. When Sophie moved in, things were good for 2 weeks until I had to leave for work. This was when she learned that I was a minor and leave for 2 weeks at a time. When I got back, my problems with her began when she would constantly talk about climate change. She would constantly try to educate us on how and why we should change our habits. The real frustration was when she started going after me in my job. She would constantly say that within 10 years I will have no job. This was accompanied by having this ridiculous and false notion that I am poor and work for minimum wage. To try and help me, she would constantly give me college program pamphlets and job postings to find a better job. Am I wrong for canceling Mother's Day celebrations that I arranged for my wife after hearing what she told my son? I, 37 male, have a 13-year-old son. I was a widower when I met my now wife. She has a 16-year-old daughter from another relationship. The family is often on pretty good terms. My son is the quiet one in the house. He keeps to himself a lot, but not to the point of being concerning. My wife and stepdaughter are the complete opposite. They both encourage him to be outgoing and share activities, enjoying gatherings with extended family. My son complained about having to be forced out of his comfort zone and having his need for space invalidated. I spoke to both my wife and stepdaughter and asked them to give him space and freedom to spend his time however he wanted. They apologized and promised to let him be. As Mother's Day was approaching, I wanted to throw my wife a surprise Mother's Day celebration. It was no longer a surprise because my stepdaughter gave her the heads up so she could prepare. Yesterday I got off work earlier than usual to get final arrangements done. We planned to celebrate at the restaurant and invited her family there. I had the key, and while I was entering the house through the front door, I overheard my wife and stepdaughter talking to my son. My wife was asking my son if he could convince me to let him stay home and not go with them to the restaurant to celebrate. I paused and decided to keep listening. People who have been cheated on. How did you find out? His friend was kind enough to tell me. It ruined their relationship, but it was very meaningful to me. I appreciated someone doing me the kindness of letting me know. We were out on a date when she got a phone call. Her fiancé had just been in a terrible motorcycle accident and died. We had been dating for about 8 months at that point, and we never talked again. You know how Facebook chat bubbles open up on top of whatever app you're on? He sent me a screenshot of something funny between him and his cousin. In the background was a text message about a date he was going on with this girl. I found a sexually explicit love letter that was not from me. We had been married for 15 years. Dang, 15 years. We broke up. I made a new friend and she asked if I had a boyfriend, and I told her we had just ended the relationship. But I also told her his name, to which she replied, I had a boyfriend with that name not too long ago. It wasn't a common name in our area. So I laughed and I showed her a picture, and she did the same, and we stopped laughing. It was